The next is the engagement of Accenture with Philips, and they together have come up and created a device that allows doctor performing surgery simultaneously monitor patient side to monitor like various kind of symptoms so as to reduce the cost of treatment and without having their eyes to the process or procedure of the patient. So here we have the kind of a example that we have taken it up, like Dr. David with Philips and Accenture developers test out Google Glass before entering the operation theater simulator lab. It looks at the ability for clinical to call up images and other clinical information, including data from the patient records anywhere in the hospital using wearable technology. So here anesthetist keeps his attention on the patient while maintaining a view of vital signs via Google Glass. So these are all the use cases that what we have taken up and the Accenture is doing with Philips together. Sugato, the next slide for you.
Hi, this is Sugato. So regarding the safe city stuff, like Accenture and the government of Singapore has come together to build up something of a concept known as a safe city. So although Singapore is one of the safest cities in the world, but still the government of Singapore wanted that they should strive to be better in that aspect. So what they are doing over here is that they've invited multiple vendors out from there, apart from Accenture, and they're using sensor technologies over there to get in video feeds, and thereby they can, and based on Accenture's path-breaking analytics model, they would be using a so-called crowd simulation model. So what it will do is that it will basically predict what type of crowd would be there, and also based on social media feeds, it would predict that like what would be the overall trend of the mental trend of the crowd, and thereby they'll able to react to any situations in a better manner. So it would be in a two-phased manner. Like it would be like the concept is that it will be collecting feeds from the video, and CCTV. So it would be video analytics along with traditional analytics and social media, plus the sensor feeds obtained from multiple sites, which will enable the police and the other paramilitary forces to give or to have a better picture of the overall scenario. And also what they are trying to do over here is that it will be near real-time decision-making process, so that instead of static standard operating procedures, the response time would be much better and faster. This is the next slide, which is very much in talk nowadays, like smart water, smart grid, etc. As Monarch pointed out, that Accenture is also doing a piece of work with Thames Water, wherein Thames Water is trying to predict like what would be the leakages in the pipelines and so on. And it also takes into consideration that going forward, like along with the leakages stuff, which would be part of the sensor information. If we talk about traditional analytics, it would cover the other areas, like it would be a sort of a demand-based optimization model. So they'll try to figure out based on the demand and supply of water in various regions, the entire network would be recalculated, and thereby the flow of water would be modulated. And also Accenture and Siemens has come into a joint venture when they are like in the smart meter field, wherein the concept is that the smart meter or the smart grid, what it will do is that it will eventually, by say after a few years, what will happen is that the electricity generation and consumption would be directly proportional to each other. So there will be devices at our homes which would react to based on the existing electrical supply. So if there is a short of supply in the grid, so what will happen is that the bulbs or the fans, etc., which are running at our homes and offices, they'll shut off by automatically, or they'll start consuming less electricity. On the other hand, based on the demand at the consumer level, the power plants would generate electricity in that fashion. So if there is a high demand, there'll be high generation of electricity, and if there is a low demand, there'll be a low generation of electricity. So thereby what will happen is that the entire grid, like starting from the power generation area to the consumer, would be automated using sensor devices. Now going to the next slide, I think Anuradha, can you please take over?
Hi, thanks. So here we have the pictorial view of the overall dimensions of a big data world. Here, up until now, Sugata and Monak were talking about the way the information is going to be generated and how it's going to be used on a real-time basis. Now, when all